Marshals Season 2 is going to have between 18 and 20 episodes, and Luke Grimes confirmed it on camera at SXSW. No other season in the entire Yellowstone franchise has ever had an episode order that large. Not Yellowstone, not 1883, not 1923, not Dutton Ranch. Marshals Season 2. How did a show that premiered with 13 episodes just get handed 20? Why did CBS give the writers' room the green light to start building Season 2 while Season 1 still had episodes left to air? And what does the biggest season in Yellowstone franchise history actually mean for where Kayce's story can go? Let's break it down. Before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing. We cover every major development across the Yellowstone franchise the moment it happens, and this is the franchise's single biggest season commitment in 8 years of television. Okay, let's start with exactly what Luke Grimes said and where he said it, because the context matters as much as the number. Collider's Steve Weintraub caught up with Grimes at South by Southwest 2026, while Marshals was still midway through its first season, and the renewal had just been announced. Weintraub asked Grimes directly whether Season 2 would again be 13 episodes like Season 1. Grimes's answer was immediate and specific. He said, "No, it's going to be more than that. It's up in the air right now. It's either going to be 18 or 20, and then he added one more line. Yeah, they like it. That last part is the detail nobody's been talking about loudly enough. Not, they told me so. Not, I heard something. They like it." That's an actor describing the creative team's enthusiasm for what they're building. CBS didn't expand this show reluctantly because of viewership pressure. They expanded it because the people making it are excited about what they're doing with the extra room. Now here's the context that makes this number genuinely historic. Marshals premiered in spring 2026. Season 1 ran 13 episodes. Every Yellowstone universe season that came before this announcement had a shorter run. Yellowstone itself peaked at 10 episodes per season. 1883 ran 10 episodes. 1923 ran 8 episodes per season across both of its seasons. Dutton Ranch ran 9 episodes this season. The most episode-dense season in the entire franchise before this announcement was Marshals Season 1 with 13. Now CBS is handing the next chapter a minimum of 18 episodes and a maximum of 20. That's not just a renewal. That's a commitment that the franchise has never made for any single season of television before. Here's what makes the speed of this even more striking. Whiskey Riff confirmed that CBS gave the writers' room the green light to start working on Season 2 as early as February 2026. Marshals hadn't even finished airing its first season yet. The show premiered in spring, and the network was already funding Season 2 writing months before the finale even aired. That kind of confidence doesn't come from a show performing adequately. It comes from a network looking at viewership numbers and deciding it wants more of them before anyone else can catch up. Here's what those numbers actually were. Marshals averaged 25.24 million viewers within 35 days of its premiere. That made it the most watched broadcast TV series of 2026. The show premiered to 9.52 million viewers on its debut night alone. And it was officially renewed less than a month after that first episode aired. The Yellowstone brand has always carried significant viewership, but Marshals proved something the franchise had never tested before. This was the first Yellowstone universe show to air on network television, on CBS, instead of Paramount Network or Paramount Plus. And it immediately became the biggest broadcast hit of the year. That's why a show that was described by multiple outlets as the franchise's most divisive entry, meaning critics and longtime Yellowstone fans argued about whether it was too procedural, still walked away with the largest episode order in franchise history. The audience came. The audience stayed. And CBS responded by building a bigger stage for Season 2. Now let's talk about what 18 to 20 episodes actually unlocks for the story, because this isn't just a quantity story. Season 1 left 3 major threads completely unresolved. Cal and Belle under enemy fire. Tate in Texas with a man who orchestrated attacks on Kayce's entire team. And the full truth behind the Weaver family's agenda still hidden. Logan Marshall Green gave a hint about that last thread in his Hollywood Reporter post-finale interview. He said the agenda behind the Weaver betrayal is not going to be what anyone thinks necessarily. He said there will be consequences. He was deliberate about not closing that door. In 13 episodes, Marshals introduced that complexity and then ran out of room to fully explore it. In 18 to 20, the story has enough space to let the consequences actually breathe. Cal's cancer diagnosis is the other thread that a 20-episode season changes dramatically. Marshall Green said in the same Hollywood Reporter interview that he doesn't want the cancer story to be handled with kid gloves. He wants the full weight of what that diagnosis means for someone coming back from a grueling career in service. A shorter season compresses that into a subplot. A 20-episode season can carry it as an actual arc. He said he can see himself making this show for many years. He said it's the duty to the men and women who have been through what Cal has been through to tell that story honestly. That kind of ambition requires the kind of room Season 2 has now been given. Here's the rehook, because there's a detail about the show's position in the franchise that doesn't get enough attention. Marshals was described by critics as divisive. The procedural format frustrated some Yellowstone fans who expected something closer to the original show's sprawling ranch drama. And CBS's response to that criticism was to give the show more episodes than the franchise has ever ordered for a single season. That's not the behavior of a network hedging its bets. That's a network saying they understand why some people are still catching up to what this show is doing, and they're betting that 20 episodes gives it enough time to make the case for itself. If they're right, Season 2 isn't just the biggest season in Yellowstone history by episode count. It might be the one that finally closes the debate about whether Marshals deserves to stand alongside the original. So here's what we know about when we get there. Marshals Season 2 premieres on CBS this fall 2026. The show will also stream on Paramount+, the same way Season 1 did. Production began in May 2026 in Park City, Utah. Whiskey Riff estimates that 18 to 20 weekly episodes would carry the show through roughly 4 months of airtime. If fall premieres sometime in September, that puts the Season 2 finale potentially in late December or early January. Season 1 DVD is confirmed for release this summer on Paramount+. And the franchise that started with Yellowstone in 2018 and has since expanded to 1883, 1923, Dutton Ranch, and Marshals has never trusted any single season of television with a run this long before. So tell me what you think. Does 20 episodes finally give Marshals the room to prove itself? Or is a longer season just more time for the same criticisms to grow louder? And how does the Season 2 episode count change what the show can do with Cal's cancer arc and the full Weaver betrayal reveal? Drop your take in the comments. I want to hear from everyone who watched all 13 episodes and is now looking at 20. And if you want every update the moment Season 2 footage or a premiere date drops, go ahead and subscribe. I'd really appreciate having you here for it. See you when the next piece of this lands.